who could have been the GOAT rapper but is not. So all the Mountain Dew drinking Army vets who are going to trash me in the comments, just know that Eminem has potential. He did not reach it. So this is explained in 5 points. I'm Andrew Ricketts, aka Drew Breeze. You'll see my handles at the bottom on Facebook, YouTube, and Medium.com. This is my YouTube stream about Eminem's album Kamikaze and why it falls short of expectations. Basically, your boy M became Stan. So on the Marshall Mathers LP, he created a character called Stan that was meant to personify the crazed fan. But instead of developing more characters, more voices, more stories, and diving deeper into who he is as a person, Eminem just became that one flat obsessive character. And here's how. So, the first thing that Eminem has done to shortchange his rap career is focus on form but not content. Eminem rhymes syllables but not bars. And I attribute a friend to that theory. I call him the Russian gymnastics of rap music because he's all technicality, all technical framework and picturesque rhyming ability, but not vivid storytelling and certainly not any particular message. Eminem is just raging against something, but it's unclear what at this point because he doesn't focus his time and energy on developing what he's saying. He more emotes and is effusive and frustrated to no end. And that's one reason of the 5 that Eminem has flattened as an MC, as a rhymer. The second is he's insular. Now, hip-hop is a community. It draws on all kinds of experiences, and that's how it evolves. Like, it came out of various elements of dance as well as freestyling, things that Eminem was bred inside of, but he, over the course of his fame, became so insulated that he was unable to recapture the culture of hip-hop that cultivated him. He wasn't able to harvest from all the things that make hip-hop beautiful. Case in point, on this album, he constantly rags on trap music and trap beats and cadences, and he's someone who prides himself on having multiple flows, double time flows that he uses always, and I guess in the case of trap music, that he actually takes a lot from. He just gets very angry about the fact that that is the standard flow of the day, instead of varying his flow or showing appreciation for it or molding parts of what he does to what that is. Eminem just sort of like screams at the angry kids on his lawn, and that insular part of him, that kind of entitlement that he refuses to change, I think is one of the main downfalls of recent Eminem artwork, is that he used to draw inspiration from hip-hop. He used to be very much embedded in what hip-hop is and does, but now he's sort of at a distance from it, and it seems like he's fighting his listeners, that he does not want them to enjoy the musical part and the modern and fresh part of hip-hop. He only wants them to enjoy his complaints, which, you know, as a music fan, I think that can be disappointing and tiresome. The third reason Eminem is falling off and became Stan is that he is obsessive about rape culture. He's always talking about raping women, raping language, raping bars, raping MCs, and in the same breath that he'll criticize rap for being repetitive or bringing up themes like, you know, sleeping with your girl, he'll do those same things in his bars and sort of like point the finger at other people for doing that. And that is, it's disgusting. First of all, he's always talking about rape. It makes you think that he must, in some part of himself, believe that rape is a viable topic to always discuss. It was one thing when he was younger and it was for shock value, and this was in opposition to acts like Britney Spears and NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. It was of course, sensational and taboo for him to talk about those topics in that music climate. But in this climate, where producers have been accused of rape, where women are speaking up in terms of Me Too and Time's Up and basically declaring their rights, Eminem is doubling and tripling down on these rape themes, and going so far as to make it into this larger metaphor for his relationship with language and the world, is that he's raping language and raping the world. I think it's become so trite at this point that Eminem doesn't even know why he does it, and rape as a verb just becomes another thing to say, which, you know, as an artist, you have to make choices that are deliberate, that are really intentional. And I don't think Eminem is making intentional choices. It's like rape is this tick that he has in his language and always uses. So rape as a theme is another way that Eminem is becoming Stan, the guy who brags about beating his girlfriend and keeping her in check, and actually includes that on at least one song and album. The fourth reason that Eminem is not the relevant rapper he used to be is that there are many other options for lyrical rap. So at the point when Eminem was at his peak 15 to 20 years ago, lyricism in the mainstream wasn't a thing. Even artists who had lyrical qualities and who could pack more words and syllables into rhymes were kind of on the fringe, or they would change that style so that they could have a mainstream hit. Case in point, Jay-Z did that. Artists like Redman, even Ghostface Killah, they would create singles for the radio, even though they were capable of much more with lyrics and packing more lyrics into a bar or a line. And Eminem was a standout in that way and at that time. But at this point in time, artists like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar in the mainstream, and Big Sean are great at packing many syllables into bars, and they're great at using their lyrical qualities to stand out. But then there's also a host of underground and independent rappers who do the same thing. Denmark Vesey comes to mind, Tanya Morgan, artists like Tech Nine who have record-breaking amounts of syllables in their lyrics. Those are people who continue to push the genre of lyricism and tell stories and create great songs and melodies. So Eminem is no